Well, we can talk now to Paul Oxley, who's from St Mark's Meals. He's also chair of Milton Keynes Poverty Partnership. Paul, your organisation, it was born out of so-called holiday hunger, wasn't it? That was 9 years ago. What were you seeing back then?
Yeah, Janine, 9 years ago, I met a head teacher in a primary school, and on her desk, the bit under the desk where you should have like a printer, she had a toaster. And the reason she had a toaster was there was so many children that were coming into school hungry, having not eaten since the day before. They got breakfast and lunch at school, but then they hadn't had anything to eat at home. And so that's what I started our journey into holiday hunger, and realizing that this period, like Sam was just saying in that report, is incredibly intensive on finances and effort on families across the board, struggling to suddenly triple their financial outgoing and the amount of food they have to provide for their families.
But actually, you don't just provide help over the holidays anymore, do you? It's actually year round. Why is that?
You're right, we don't, because we realize that there are some fantastic organizations throughout holidays that are working, some of them national, some local, some regional, some council led, and there is help available during holidays. And that's why it turns some of a hopeless situation into a hopeful situation, because the whole community is involved. But we realize that's not enough. And as you just mentioned earlier, prices have gone up by the most in 40 years. So your petrol's going up, your heating's going up, your bread's going up, your eggs going up, and children are going hungry every single day of the year. And so we realized when you're 6, it's just never your fault. And there's never an excuse for a child to go to bed hungry, we don't think. And that's what we're trying to do across Milton Keynes.
Of course, councils are now getting money to provide free activities, aren't they, as well as food for children. How important do you think that is?
It is vital. If you want to provide an ice cream, do you remember when a 99 cost 99p and now it's like £1.30, whatever? Just to provide an ice cream, a packed lunch, a dinner, a breakfast places a huge pressure on families. So there are some fantastic council schemes across the region where there are food and lunches and craft and activities that help with food for a family and prevent boredom for children. And I think it's a fantastic example of the whole community, the civic sector, the charity sector, the faith groups, individuals, schools that are setting up food banks, everybody doing their part to combat child hunger.
And just very briefly, is it true that some schools are actually washing clothes for families?
They are, and they're doing that already now before we even have to worry about things like heating and sticking the boiler on the whole time. We've got lots of contacts in schools and children's and family centres where they're doing that extra bit, like that report just mentioned, the washing, the uniforms, helping them to buy uniforms, helping them to wash uniform. So we know it's going to be worse in the winter, and I'm so glad that there are people across the region doing an immense amount to help.
Paul Oxley, great to talk to you. Thank you so much for sharing your views on Look East. Thank you.